Hi, this is the second violin part to the Tchaikovsky Romeo and Juliet. This is your audition excerpt from Pick Up to 90 to 118. This is a very, very difficult part. It's slow, but it's very hard to hear, and the stretches, the intervals between the fingers are very wide. It's hard to find. So let's just get into it. Okay, so find your A. Okay, so you're starting off in fourth position with your 1. It should match open A. Okay, now it's a half step from A to B flat. So far, so good. Now stretch from the 1 to the 4. Okay, so that's actually a tritone. If you know what that is, that's a diminished fifth because it was an A natural to an E flat, so it's a half step smaller than a perfect fifth would be. Okay, so that's the tricky interval to find. You do have to stretch it. And then it's a whole step from E flat to D flat. And then the second finger is still a half step away from where the 1 was. So this is what that whole pattern should sound like. Now this 3 is directly across the string. You don't stretch for it at all. Now here's your stretch. Now the 1 comes back a whole half step for the A flat. Okay, it moves back a half step, but it'll be a whole step from the 2. So 2, 1. 2, 1. Oh, maybe I should go over that fingering again in case you didn't get that, the fingering change that we made in hopefully in your sectionals. So pick up to 90 is 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 1, 4, 3, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, cross strings 3, 4, 3, 2. And then 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Now here's where the A natural is, just like the pick up to 90. This is the second line. So again, it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2. Okay? Okay, now we're at measure 101. We've just played the 4, 3, 2 there. Now the next note isn't a B natural, so it's just a half step away from the B flat that you just played with your second finger. So you're just going to place the third finger right next to it. So now you have worked your way back into third position. So far we've been playing, your first finger, first and second finger have been in fourth position. Honestly, your fourth finger has been so high that 4 and 3 have actually been kind of in fifth position, so you're kind of straddling 2 positions there. But now we're just going to, without even having to shift, we're going to work your way back into third position. So there's the beginning of measure 101, 4, 3, 2. Now the third finger goes a half step higher for B natural, and now to an E flat on the A string. Don't forget that D is a D flat in measure 102 because we have 5 flats in the key signature. I hope you can name them. They're B, E, A, D, and G flat. Okay, so here's measure 102 with 2, 1, 2 whole step. Now this one is very awkward to find from a D flat to an F sharp. It's an augmented third. Okay, so play that several times. And you can test that E with your open E. And the F sharp should have been a whole step higher than the E. Okay, so that's the pickup into measure 103. So D flat, F sharp with a 3, 2. E should match open E. Okay, moving on now, this is the pickup to the next measure. G sharp, fourth finger. Now play that same note on the E string with a 1. G sharp. Okay, now measure, what is that, 106? The fret's so tiny. Okay, so from F sharp to C sharp is just a regular old fourth. You don't have to extend to find the C sharp. But you do have to extend backwards now to get to the F sharp. So that's a very wide interval. The only other way to do it is with a really awkward string crossing, and it doesn't really work. So go ahead and stretch. It's just for a couple of notes. So this is measure 106. We're still in an up bow. Now the first finger comes a half step higher for G natural. Now shift back. Okay, so that's just first position. Do watch out for the G natural to C sharp. Okay, and now continuing on. This is measure 110. it should be a 1 here. The print didn't copy very well. So shift from a 2 to a 1 on the C to the D flat. So this is all 3rd position here. A flat, low 2. That's a half step from B flat to C flat. 2, 3, half step 4. Okay, now 2nd position just for a second with a 1, 2. That's another half step from F to G flat. Remember G flat? So that's a half step there. Now a B double flat is the exact same note as an open A. Okay, and then for the A flat, it's just a half step down. Okay, I'll play from 110 one more time so you can hear it more in context. So that down bow there, it just means to change bow at your own time, so we don't hear a group bow change there, but so that you end up with a down bow going into the up bow for 1 to 18. Okay, that is very, very difficult. Take your time with it. Hopefully watch this video enough times that you get the intervals in your ear and learn to do the stretching. Speaking of stretching, learn to stretch back with your index finger more than just up with your pinky. The pinky doesn't have just a whole lot that it can do, but you actually do have some reach back here that maybe you've never used before, so that can help your these intervals that are so wide. Learn to pull back with your 1 to help the 4 out. Also make sure that we talk all the time about keeping the wrist down. Your wrist doesn't need to be any more than just a perfect line between the elbow and the back of the hand. So if you're extending too far out, that's going to pull your 4th finger farther away from the fingerboard than it needs to be. So just bring the wrist in until it's perfectly straight and bring this base knuckle closer to the fingerboard. That's going to bring your 4th finger closer and give you a little bit of extra reach there. Okay, so a couple helpful tips hopefully. All right, practice that a lot. We'll see you in rehearsal. Good luck.